These are the most humiliating crossovers in NBA history.
Always got a rain.
Clippers lead by 2!
You cannot stop him. You can only hold.
Today we'll be counting down some of the most humiliating crossovers. The moments that had us laughing, cringing, and even rewinding. These are the ankle breakers that are haunting defenders' dreams and would go down in the history of a highlights reel. So get ready to witness some court chaos as we look at some of the crossovers in NBA history. Darius Garland versus Sam Hauser. We have this crossover from Darius Garland that had Sam Hauser visibly shaken and sprawled on the floor.
Really lacked a season ago.
Down goes Hauser!
With a quick, deceptive dribble, Garland sent Hauser tumbling as the crowd roared. With a clear lane, Garland easily scored a three-pointer, cementing this moment as one of the most devastating crossovers this season. If I was humiliated this bad, I wouldn't show up for the next game. But just wait till you see the next crossover. It gets more humiliating. Trae Young versus Zeke Naji. We have Trae Young taking over Zeke Naji in the usual Trae Young fashion.
Trae crossing over Zeke Naji. Gets around him. What a move. Floater is good.
The crossover had Naji stumbling. Young's quick dribble fake and change of direction left Naji confused. And in that moment, Trae pulled back and left him off balance. Young drove down the court and drained the shot easily, adding to his growing highlight reel of humiliating crossovers. After a move like that, Zeke's meant to be reconsidering his career choice, but wait till you see the next move. You haven't seen anything. Kobe White versus Scottie Barnes. Kobe White made a statement play with this crossover, taking on Barnes one-on-one, delivering a lethal crossover that had Barnes struggling to keep up.
Timeout. Here's Kobe White. Goes around the world and punches it home.
White saw the opening, exploded towards the rim, and capped it all up with a dunk. This play had the crowd lit up and in awe. If you thought this crossover was brutal, wait till you see the next one. Pure ankle breaker. Jaylen Brown versus Luka Doncic. Jaylen Brown took on Luka Doncic with confidence and successfully pulled off a lightning-quick crossover that had Luka Doncic on the floor.
Always got a rain on the parade. Look at you.
With a smooth fake, Brown made Doncic lose balance, and before he knew it, he was on the ground. This was a clean and cold-blooded move that had the fans buzzing. Someone needs to check Luka's ankle. And speaking of broken ankles, this next play is unbelievable. Steph Curry versus Vince Williams Jr. Steph Curry put Vince Williams Jr. through a dizzying crossover that had everyone talking.
Cross. Sauce.
Stop
Bucket!
it. Stop it.
What made this moment more embarrassing was Steph's funny reaction after the making of the shot. That one is definitely going to be showing on Curry's highlight reel, but you're set to witness a play that's an even crazier ankle breaker. Drew Holiday versus Pascal Siakam. In a jaw-dropping play, Drew Holiday used his crafty dribbling skills to cross up Pascal Siakam in style.
Oh, yeah.
As Holiday approached, he faked a drive one way before quickly shifting directions, leaving Siakam off balance and reaching. With Pascal struggling to catch up, Holiday calmly sank a dunk. If I got crossed like that, I'd be hiding, but this next move is going to raise the bar. Steph Curry versus Dillon Brooks. In a stunning display of his skill, Steph Curry delivered one of the most humiliating crossovers. Face off with Dillon Brooks, he executed not one, but two crossovers. That had Brooks gasping for air. The first crossover had Curry faking left and switching, which caught Brooks off guard. And after Brooks recovered and came flying back, Curry performed another crossover, which created enough space for him to launch a three-pointer. If that was me, I'd be searching for the nearest exit. But just wait, the next clip is even more brutal. Tyrese Halliburton versus Ausar Thompson. Tyrese Halliburton executed a smooth crossover that sent Ausar Thompson to the floor.
5 games, that's 5 per game. Here's a step back. Halliburton.
With a swift body movement, Halliburton threw Thompson off balance and created enough space to pull up from beyond the arc. He launched a confident three-pointer that swished through the net. That sent him straight to the floor, but this next play is even more savage. Moses Moody took Landry Shamet one-on-one and delivered a devastating crossover that sent Shamet straight to the floor.
Get home. I mean, Washington shooting 52%. Moody pulls it back.
With swift handling and quick change of direction, Moody had Shamet out of position and created a wide open space. Moody then easily sank a jumper, turning an ankle-breaking move into a clean score. That's the kind of move that you want to watch on replay, but trust me, this next clip is an all-time classic. Kyrie Irving versus Dillon Brooks. Kyrie Irving put Dillon Brooks on skates with this dazzling crossover. He brought his signature handles to life, snapping the ball across his body, which sent Brooks in the wrong direction.
Have a go right at him. Wow! Exquisite!
Talk about getting put on skates. But if this was bad, the next crossover is just plain mean. Anthony Edwards versus Anthony Davis. In a bold one-on-one moment, Anthony Edwards took on Anthony Davis and hit him with a crossover that threw Davis off balance.
Oh, crossover, pull up, cooked him in 4-10.
Edwards seized the moment and sunk a jumper with ease. What made this movement even more humiliating was when Edwards locked eyes with Davis in an intense stare down and let him and everyone watching know that he owned that play. Oof, it's a cold world on the court. And speaking of cold, this next crossover, ice cold. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus Stephen Curry. Another humiliating moment was when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took on Stephen Curry in an intense matchup and unleashed a deadly crossover, which left Curry stumbling.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, traveling jumper.
With a swift fake and quick change of direction, Shai completely shook Curry and created a wide open space. Gilgeous-Alexander capitalized on this and sank the shot in style and with confidence, sending the crowd into a frenzy. Talk about getting your dignity stolen. And up next, we have another crossover that's just jaw-dropping. In a rare display of handles for a big man, Andre Drummond squares up against Chet Holmgren and unleashes a quick crossover that sends Holmgren crashing to the floor. The unexpected move had everyone in awe as Drummond took advantage of the open space he had created and drove in to finish the play with power. This play had the crowd on their feet and was a display of Drummond's versatility. If that's not embarrassing, I don't know what is. And up next, we have a crossover that's just brutal. Jordan Poole versus Drew Holiday. Poole unleashed a slick crossover in transition, leaving Drew confused about his next move and struggling to keep up.
Skies for the rebound. Oh, nice. With a crossover in transition, high.
Jordan finished up with a rush to the rim for a layup while Drew was still trying to chase him down. Poole had Drew so confused, but the next highlight is just plain nasty. Tyrese Halliburton versus Kyle Lowry. Tyrese's quick move left Kyrie completely off balance and sent him sliding off in the opposite direction.
Halliburton,
Let it go. Oh! Yeah!
Tyrese followed through with a three-pointer shot while Kyle was still on the ground. If I were him, I'd just retire. But wait till you see the next one. Absolute disrespect. Darius Garland versus Isaiah Stewart. Another spectacular, humiliating moment was Darius Garland taking on Isaiah Stewart, hitting him with a sharp crossover that threw Stewart off balance.
Trying to find room to jack up a three. They'll step back now and fire, and that one falls.
Garland easily hit a three-pointer shot while Stewart was still struggling to recover. That would definitely hurt his pride. And coming up, we have another crossover that turns up the humiliation even more. Paul George versus Evan Mobley. Paul George took Evan Mobley to task with a vicious crossover. George unleashed a quick, deceptive crossover that sent Mobley to the floor, which opened up enough space for George to make a buzzer-beater shot.
gets down, lets it fly for the lead.
Someone needs to call a medic for Mobley because his ankles need checking. And this next crossover, it's just more ruthless. Terry Rozier versus Kevin Durant. Terry Rozier executed a series of quick crossovers and had Kevin Durant scrambling to keep up.
During this 6-game losing streak, Rozier
With a swift change of direction, Rozier successfully knocks Durant off balance and creates space for him to pull up and make his shot. Talk about getting put on skates. But this next crossover is just plain mean. Paul George versus Franz Wagner. Paul George, facing off against Franz Wagner, executed a slick crossover that had Wagner off balance.
Sizable lead here into the fourth. George, step back three.
Paul George finished off the play with a graceful three-pointer shot. He left Wagner in the dust while thrilling the crowd with his impressive move. They say defenders have to be quick, but Wagner didn't even stand a chance. And the next clip, still no mercy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus Wesley Matthews. Showing his ball handling skills, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went head-to-head with Wesley Matthews.
Checked up by Matthews. Wants the step back three. On the way.
With a deceptive crossover, he left Matthews struggling to keep up with him and successfully created space for a three. If you think that was slick, wait till you see this next one. Rob Dillingham versus Zeke Naji. With a slick hesitation dribble, Rob Dillingham added Zeke Naji to the list of humiliated players last season. The dribble froze Naji in his tracks, with the dribble through which a smooth crossover followed, and he ended the play with a confident shot. That's a move Naji would be thinking of for a while, but hold up, this next one is much more filthy. Anthony Edwards drops Dante Exum to the ground with his deadly crossover move. Edwards easily drops in a three-pointer shot after Dante's fall had given him enough space.
We've seen it throughout the series. That's a defense.
Dante's absolutely going to feel that in the morning. But the next clip, just pure embarrassment on the court. Jalen Green versus Jared Butler. Jalen Green once again displayed his ability to take over the game when he faced Jared Butler and delivered a jaw-dropping crossover that sent Butler to the floor.
He just lost Butler.
After staring at Butler on the floor, Jalen smoothly finishes the play in style. This moment was one of the most humiliating moments we saw this season. And there you have it, the most humiliating and coldest NBA crossovers that left defenders in the dust. Whether it's a slick move or a devastating ankle breaker, these highlights remind us why we love the game. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible basketball content. Let us know in the comments which crossover was your favorite and who you think deserves to be next on our list. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the court.